In the last 10 years working closely with many clients as a financial planner, I've seen countless financial choices play out over time, learning what helps people thrive and what keeps them stuck. In this video, I'll share the top 3 money lessons everyone should know sooner rather than later, so hopefully you can apply them and make better financial decisions right away. Let's dive in. The first lesson is one that's most fundamental, yet also the most overlooked. This insight often comes into focus towards the very end of life. In the top 5 regrets of the dying, Bronnie Ware reflects on the regrets shared by those near the end of life. Among them are wishes to have spent more time with loved ones, to have allowed themselves to be happier, and to have lived true to themselves. Money never made the list, yet many people spend their life optimizing for more money, believing it will bring happiness. But there is no automatic conversion. True wealth lies in a life rich with meaningful experiences and connections, not just in bank balances. Creating that kind of life is like a chef crafting the perfect meal. Money is just one of the essential ingredients. Health and time are also key parts of the recipe. But we all know that ingredients, no matter how abundant, don't cook themselves. Just as a chef needs a vision of what the final dish should be, and the skills to bring those flavors together, we also need purpose and creativity to shape our lives. Focusing solely on accumulating one ingredient like money misses the point. It's like gathering endless salt and expecting a masterpiece. So prioritize your health, recognize when you have enough money, and at some point it's okay to leave money on the table to buy more time. Keep learning, sharpen your mindset, and invest in your own growth. The second lesson is one that I learned the hard way. That is, goals have an expiry date. I'm not talking about simply setting a time-measured deadline when creating SMART goals. Rather, realize that, like delicate flowers needing the right conditions to bloom, goals also need their own set of conditions to be realized. Think about money, personal responsibilities, free time, mental health, and physical condition. Each goal requires its unique mix of these factors to succeed. Without the right balance, goals may become less enjoyable or even downright impossible to achieve. In my early 30s, I spent months planning a long-distance trek from France to Spain, a dream at the top of my bucket list. I spent hours researching every detail, from historical stops to essential gear. But as life often does, complications arose. Work commitments made me delay the trip, and then COVID hit and grounded any travel plan for a couple of years. After that, I became a parent and developed a back issue. That changed everything. Now when I look at that carefully crafted plan, I know it will never unfold the way I once envisioned it. My chance to take that walk, at least the way I imagined it, has passed. Certain experiences and activities can only be enjoyed at a particular phase of your life. So instead of creating a bucket list with goals that seem to wait indefinitely, divide your life into chapters and decide which key experiences you want to have in each. To maximize your overall fulfillment, it's crucial to enjoy each experience at the right time. Your 20s are ideal for adventures like backpacking through Europe, running marathons, or starting a new career or business. At this stage, you often have fewer responsibilities, no mortgage, excellent health, and plenty of time to recover from setbacks and failures. Once you reach the phase of having children and a mortgage, priorities shift. Money may be tighter, and time becomes precious in the early years of your children's lives. Travel plans may need to be modified, leaning more towards family-friendly and comfortable trips rather than adventurous activities like bungee jumping or extreme hikes. In your 40s and 50s, you might find yourself at the peak of your career, with more financial resources to travel in style, but with less free time. Health is generally still good, but it's not quite the same as in your 20s and 30s. By the time you reach your 60s, your assets may be at their highest. And with retirement on the horizon, there is usually more time to spare and ample funds for travel. However, travel plans will have to be adjusted to suit your physical health and energy levels. Each phase of life offers unique opportunities and limitations. Don't let regrets build up, as certain goals and experiences won't wait around. Once missed, the chance to pursue them is gone forever. The third one isn't one I learned as a financial planner, but I wish it received more attention in the advice and coaching industry, especially for the younger generation. You see, money will come into your life and it will leave. This happens through your income and expenses. Another way to view this dynamic is as production versus consumption. Generally, money enters your life because you produce some form of value, often through a job or a business. On the other hand, money leaves when you consume, whether it's on a house, a new car, or a Netflix subscription. In many ways, an individual's net worth reflects a net balance between production and consumption. Popular advice in the personal finance world, including strategies embraced by communities like FIRE and the minimalists, often focuses on living below your means, saving diligently, investing for passive income, and retiring early. These are excellent approaches for managing the consumption side of your finances and work well for people across different ages and income levels. However, there is an often overlooked side of the equation, the active production of money. In your 20s and 30s, you should focus on income growth rather than frugality and invest in human capital rather than financial capital. Your experience, skills, and knowledge are active assets that will compound far more than a passive portfolio. For a university graduate earning $60,000 per annum, saving even 10% of their income, $6,000, requires significant sacrifices in social activities, connections, and experiences. Yes, that $6,000 could be invested in a portfolio to generate passive income, and by the time they reach 30, it might have grown to a respectable amount. But imagine if instead that person shift their mindset away from constantly needing to save and focus on developing the skills, expanding the knowledge, broadening their horizons, and making meaningful connections. By 30s, these efforts could open countless opportunities, potentially leading to a far greater increase in income than what the original $6,000 investment could have produced. Investing in oneself in the early years fuels a production of value, which in turn drives the production of money. It can yield returns that no passive portfolio could match. We are fortunate to live in a world where the internet grants us free access to a wealth of information and connects us to countless people around the globe. This digital age has made it easier than ever to produce massive value when you consider the potential scale. I encourage you to think big about how you can 10x, 100x, and 1000x the value you bring to the world. When your value goes up, money will naturally follow. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.